Reclaiming your power, stop chasing, start attracting, a modern guide to male self-mastery in relationships and life. Introduction, the unspoken truth about attraction and the illusion of the chase. For generations, men have been fed a narrative, a romanticized ideal that dictates that relentless pursuit, unwavering devotion, and showering a woman with attention are the keys to winning her heart. We've been told that the more effort we invest, the more likely we are to secure her affection. Countless movies, songs, and even well-meaning advice from friends and family reinforce this notion. But what if I told you that this very strategy, the one you've been taught to embrace, is often the very thing that pushes her away? Begin with the video's opening statement about women not wanting men who chase them, establishing the core counterintuitive premise. The brutal truth, often whispered in hushed tones or completely ignored, is that women aren't necessarily drawn to the men who chase them relentlessly. Instead, they gravitate towards men who possess an inner confidence, who command respect without needing to utter a single word, and who present themselves as a challenge, a prize worth pursuing. This isn't about manipulative games or dishonest tactics, it's about understanding the fundamental dynamics of attraction, power, and human psychology. It's about recognizing that genuine connection thrives on mutual respect in a balanced dynamic, not on one person constantly seeking the approval of the other. The moment you begin to chase, you inadvertently position yourself as being of lesser value, and once that perception takes root, the attraction begins to wither. The good news is that this dynamic can be reversed. The power can be reclaimed. This essay, incorporating insights from dating psychology, personal development principles, and the collective experiences of men who have navigated these complexities, will provide you with a roadmap to understanding why the chase often fails, how to shift the power dynamic in your favor, and ultimately, how to cultivate a life of self-respect, abundance, and genuine connection, where you are the prize. We're not just talking about attracting women here, we're talking about attracting success, fulfillment, and a life lived on your own terms. We're talking about becoming the best version of yourself. Part 1, The Illusion of Effort, Why Constant Pursuit Backfires. The idea that relentless effort guarantees reciprocation is a deeply ingrained societal myth. We're led to believe that if we just try harder, demonstrate our affection more overtly, and consistently shower someone with attention, we will eventually win them over. This belief, however, is fundamentally flawed when applied to the realm of romantic relationships. It overlooks the crucial role of intrinsic value, self-respect, and the inherent human desire for a challenge. Integrate the video's point about flipping the power dynamic and making her fight for your attention. Think about it, how often have you witnessed men going to extraordinary lengths to impress a woman, planning elaborate dates, sending a barrage of texts, showering her with expensive gifts, only to see her pull away, become distant, or ultimately, lose interest? The scenario is tragically common, and the explanation lies in the fact that the more you give without reciprocation, the less your presence is valued. The constant stream of attention becomes an expectation, not a privilege, and the inherent value of your time, energy, and affection diminishes in her eyes. It's like receiving something for free, the perceived worth is automatically reduced. The truth is, the hard-to-get approach works, but not necessarily because women are trying to be difficult. It works because in order to truly value something or someone, you have to put in a level of effort. The dynamic has to be more of an equilibrium rather than a one-sided act. The concept of scarcity plays a critical role here. When something is readily available and easily obtained, its perceived value decreases. Conversely, when something is scarce or requires effort to acquire, its value increases. This principle applies directly to relationships. When you are constantly available, eager to please, and quick to respond to every whim, you are essentially signaling that your time and attention are not valuable. You are, in effect, devaluing yourself. This isn't to say that you should be deliberately rude or unresponsive, but rather that you should maintain a sense of self-respect and prioritize your own goals and interests. A woman has to respect you in a relationship. The instant she believes she is more valuable than you or in a higher position of power, she may lose her respect for you. Consider the analogy of a prized possession. If you were given a rare and valuable artifact, would you treat it carelessly? Would you take it for granted? Most likely not. You would handle it with care, appreciate its unique qualities, and recognize its inherent worth. Similarly, when you present yourself as a man of value, a man who is not easily obtained, you command a certain level of respect and admiration. You become a prize worth fighting for, a challenge worth undertaking. This isn't about playing games, it's about understanding the dynamics of attraction and ensuring that you are valued for who you are, not for how much you are willing to give. It's about cultivating a sense of self-worth and recognizing that you deserve a relationship built on mutual respect and appreciation. It's about showing her that your time, energy, and emotional space is something she needs to earn and not something she is entitled to, simply by her existence. When she sees this, she will be more attracted to you, and it is the beginning of a more harmonious relationship. Part 2: Understanding the pullback, deciphering the signals and recognizing power dynamics. Before attempting to reverse a negative dynamic, it's crucial to understand the underlying reasons why a woman might be pulling back. Attributing it to mere capriciousness or randomness is a dangerous oversimplification. More often than not, a woman's withdrawal is a response to a perceived imbalance of power within the relationship. It's a subconscious reaction to feeling as though she has too much control, or that your interest in her outweighs her interest in you. Emphasize the importance of understanding why she's pulling back and that it's not random. The notion of power dynamics might sound clinical or Machiavellian, but it's an inescapable element of human interaction, particularly in romantic relationships. Power, in this context, refers to the degree of influence or control one person has over the other. It's not about dominance or manipulation, but rather about the subtle ways in which individuals assert their needs, desires, and boundaries within the relationship. When one person has all the power and the other none, the relationship will be toxic and will not last. Introduce the idea that attraction dies when a woman feels she has too much control. When a woman feels like she has an excessive amount of control, when she knows that you are completely invested, readily available, and unconditionally devoted, the attraction can begin to wane. This isn't necessarily a conscious decision on her part, but rather a natural human response to a perceived lack of challenge and the absence of a balanced dynamic. It's not about taking pleasure from manipulating a man, but it is just human nature to not be interested in something that comes easily. Think of it as a game. If one player has an overwhelming advantage and the outcome is predictable, the game quickly loses its appeal. Similarly, if a woman feels as though she has already won you over, and that your affection is guaranteed regardless of her actions, the relationship can become stagnant and unfulfilling. This isn't an attempt to vilify women or suggest that they are inherently manipulative, it's simply an acknowledgement of the psychological factors that influence attraction and relationship dynamics. Men are very much the same. Reinforce the point that people don't value what comes too easily. The harsh reality is that human beings, both men and women, tend to devalue what comes too easily. We are naturally drawn to challenges, to puzzles that need to be solved, and to goals that require effort to achieve. This is why the chase, when conducted with respect and authenticity, can be a stimulating and engaging aspect of a relationship. However, the chase should be a mutual endeavor, with both individuals actively participating and contributing to the dynamic. The moment the chase becomes entirely one-sided, it becomes unsustainable and ultimately, detrimental to the relationship. Consider the following scenario: you've been consistently responsive to her texts, always eager to meet up, and readily available to offer support and assistance. She, on the other hand, has been less consistent in her communication, occasionally flaky with plans, and seemingly less invested in the relationship. In this scenario, the power dynamic is clearly skewed in her favor. She knows that she can count on your unwavering attention, regardless of her behavior, and this knowledge can inadvertently diminish her attraction to you. She may start to take you for granted, or worse, she may begin to question your value and wonder why you are so readily available. Women like to know they are valued, but they also have to put in the effort to feel as though they have earned it. Highlight the dangers of being over-available and the feeling of being taken for granted. When you are constantly over-available, too eager to please, or too quick to respond, you are essentially communicating that your time and attention are not valuable. You are signaling that you don't have other priorities, interests, or commitments that occupy your time. This can be a major turnoff for women who are seeking a partner who is confident, independent, and has a life of his own. Introduce the concept of women testing men constantly. Furthermore, women often test men, often subconsciously, to gauge their strength, confidence, and emotional stability. These tests can manifest in various forms, such as pulling back, acting cold, becoming distant, or expressing doubts about the relationship. The purpose of these tests is not to be malicious or manipulative, but rather to assess your ability to handle pressure, maintain your composure, and assert your boundaries. If you react to these tests by becoming overly anxious, needy, or desperate, you are essentially signaling that you lack the emotional resilience and self-assurance that women find attractive. If, instead, you approach with calm self-assurance, it will show her you are stable. Explain how chasing after pulling back reinforces the idea that she is in charge. When a woman pulls back and you immediately respond by chasing, blowing up her phone, or trying to fix things, you are inadvertently reinforcing the idea that she is in control. You are demonstrating that her actions have a direct impact on your emotional state, and that you are willing to go to great lengths to regain her approval. This can be a significant turn-off, as it signals a lack of self-respect and an over-reliance on her validation. The key is to recognize these tests for what they are, opportunities to demonstrate your strength, confidence, and self-worth. Instead of reacting with anxiety or desperation, respond with calm assurance and unwavering self-belief. Show her that you are not easily rattled, that you value your own time and energy, and that you are not willing to compromise your boundaries for anyone. This will not only maintain her attraction, but also earn her respect and admiration. Part 3, Emotional Detachment, Reclaiming Your Power and Reigniting Attraction. The concept of emotional detachment is often misunderstood and mistakenly associated with indifference or apathy. However, in the context of relationships, emotional detachment refers to the ability to maintain a sense of emotional equilibrium and self-control, regardless of the other person's behavior or actions. It's about cultivating an inner sense of peace and self-worth that is not dependent on external validation or approval. Introduce emotional detachment as a powerful tool and explain its impact on attraction. Emotional detachment is not about ceasing to care for someone, but rather about refusing to allow their actions to dictate your emotional state. It's about recognizing that you are responsible for your own happiness and well-being, and that you cannot rely on another person to provide you with a sense of fulfillment. This is a crucial step in reclaiming your power within a relationship and reigniting attraction. Explain that this isn't about playing games but regaining power and respect. When you are emotionally detached, you are no longer swayed by her mood swings, her silences, or her attempts to test your boundaries. You maintain a sense of inner calm and self-assurance, regardless of her behavior. This can be incredibly attractive, as it signals a sense of strength, stability, and self-control. Imagine a scenario where she becomes distant or unresponsive. Instead of reacting with anxiety or desperation, you remain calm and collected. You continue to focus on your own goals and interests, and you refuse to allow her behavior to disrupt your emotional equilibrium. This sends a powerful message, that you are not dependent on her for your happiness, and that you value your own time and energy. Draw the parallel to wanting something unattainable, emphasizing the desire that arises from distance. This is where the paradox of attraction comes into play. The moment you stop being so readily available and stop seeking her validation, you become more attractive. Human beings are naturally drawn to things that are scarce or difficult to obtain. When you are constantly showering someone with attention, you are essentially making yourself readily available and diminishing your perceived value. However, when you pull back and create a sense of distance, you become more intriguing and desirable. It works for both men and women. Explain the importance of acting unbothered and becoming a ghost. The key to emotional detachment is to cultivate a sense of inner self-worth that is not dependent on external validation. This involves focusing on your own goals, interests, and personal growth. It means prioritizing your own well-being and refusing to allow another person to dictate your emotional state. As you continue to develop yourself as a person, you will be able to better control your emotions and be less codependent on others to validate your worth. This doesn't mean that you should become cold or indifferent, but rather that you should maintain a sense of emotional independence and self-reliance. Show her that you are capable of being happy and fulfilled, regardless of her presence or absence. This will not only make you more attractive, but also create a healthier and more balanced relationship dynamic. Part 4. Avoiding the pitfalls, common mistakes that sabotage your efforts. The path to reclaiming your power is fraught with potential pitfalls. Even with the best intentions, it's easy to stumble and fall back into old patterns of behavior that undermine your efforts. Recognizing and avoiding these common mistakes is crucial for achieving lasting change. Highlight the common mistake of panicking when you don't hear from her. One of the most common mistakes men make is panicking when they don't hear from her. They become anxious and begin to obsess over her whereabouts, her activities, and her feelings. They may start sending a barrage of texts, calling repeatedly, or checking her social media accounts incessantly. This behavior is a clear sign of neediness and desperation, and it will almost certainly push her further away. Explain how reaching out shows her she's still in control. The urge to check in or send a casual message can be overwhelming, particularly when you're trying to implement emotional detachment. However, resisting this urge is crucial. Every time you reach out, you are signaling that you are still thinking about her, that she still has control over your emotions, and that you are willing to pursue her attention. This undermines your efforts to reclaim your power and reignite attraction. Explain how liking or commenting on her social media validates her behavior. Another common mistake is engaging with her on social media. Liking her photos, commenting on her posts, or sending her direct messages may seem like harmless gestures, but they can actually be counterproductive. These actions demonstrate that you are still paying attention to her, that you are still seeking her approval, and that you are still hoping to win her over. This can actually have the reverse effect, because she sees you as easy to attain, thus decreasing her attraction towards you. Reinforce the idea that social media engagement gives her validation without effort. Engaging with her social media also provides her with validation without her having to invest any effort. She receives the attention and admiration she craves, without having to reciprocate or acknowledge your presence. This can be incredibly frustrating and can ultimately lead to resentment and bitterness. Emphasize the importance of ignoring her social media presence. The best course of action is to ignore her social media presence altogether. Don't like her photos, don't comment on her posts, and don't send her direct messages. Let her wonder why you haven't noticed her, let her miss your attention, and let her realize that she is not the center of your world. Even if you are still very much interested in her, it is important to let her think you are not that interested in her. The second you do this, your value will go up in her eyes. It's also important to avoid talking about her to mutual friends or asking them for information about her. This behavior can come across as desperate and needy, and it will likely be relayed back to her, further diminishing your perceived value. The best thing you can do is go completely ghost. Do not talk about her, do not post about her, and act like she does not exist. If she comes across this information, she will wonder what has happened to make you go so cold towards her. Resisting these temptations requires discipline and self-control. It's not easy to ignore someone you care about, particularly when you are accustomed to showering them with attention. However, remember that these actions are ultimately undermining your efforts to reclaim your power and reignite attraction. Focus on your own goals, interests, and personal growth, and trust that the right person will appreciate you for who you are, not for how much you are willing to give. Part 5. The Power of No Contact, Disrupting Expectations and Fostering Longing. The no contact rule is a powerful strategy for reclaiming your power, resetting the relationship dynamic, and fostering a sense of longing and desire in the other person. It involves completely cutting off all communication with the other person for a predetermined period of time, typically 30 days or more. Introduce the no-contact rule and its psychological impact. The no-contact rule is not a manipulative tactic or a childish game. It's a strategic decision designed to disrupt expectations, create space for reflection, and allow both individuals to reassess their feelings and priorities. It's a way of signaling that you are no longer willing to tolerate disrespectful behavior, and that you value your own time and energy. Explain how the no-contact rule disrupts her sense of control. In today's hyper-connected world, where constant communication is the norm, the no-contact rule can be particularly effective. When you suddenly disappear from someone's life, when you stop texting, calling, and engaging with them on social media, it creates a void that is difficult to ignore. This void can trigger feelings of curiosity, confusion, and even longing. Outline the parameters of the no-contact rule and its challenges. During the no-contact period, it's crucial to maintain absolute silence. No texts, no calls, no emails, no social media interactions. Resist the urge to check in or send a casual message. The goal is to create a complete and unambiguous absence, allowing the other person to experience the full weight of your absence. This will require strong willpower and an internal drive to not give in to your emotions. Explain how the silence creates a void and makes her realize what she's missing. The no-contact rule works by disrupting the other person's expectations. They are accustomed to receiving your attention and validation, and when that suddenly disappears, it can be jarring and unsettling. They may begin to question their assumptions about the relationship and wonder if they have made a mistake. Emphasize that the goal is to focus on yourself during the pullback. The no-contact rule also provides you with an opportunity to focus on yourself. Instead of obsessing over the other person, use this time to pursue your own goals, interests, and personal growth. Hit the gym, build your business, learn new skills, and spend time with friends and family. The goal is to become the best version of yourself, both physically and emotionally. This self-improvement is not just about attracting the other person back into your life, it's about becoming a more confident, resilient, and fulfilled individual. When you are focused on your own growth and well-being, you are less likely to be swayed by the other person's actions or opinions. You are also more likely to attract people who are genuinely interested in you for who you are, not for what you can provide them. The best version of yourself will attract the best version of someone else. Part 6, Harnessing Heartbreak, Transforming Pain into Personal Power. Heartbreak is an inevitable part of life. Whether it's the end of a relationship, a rejection from someone you care about, or a disappointment in your personal or professional life, heartbreak can be a profoundly painful experience. However, it's also an opportunity for growth, self-discovery, and the development of inner strength. Explain that the goal is to become the kind of man she can't resist. The key is to reframe heartbreak not as a setback or a failure, but as a catalyst for change. Instead of wallowing in self-pity or dwelling on the past, use the pain as fuel to propel yourself forward. Channel your energy into activities that promote your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Draw parallels to successful men who overcame setbacks and used pain as fuel. Hit the gym and transform your body. Focus on building strength, endurance, and a sense of physical mastery. This will not only improve your physical appearance, but also boost your confidence and self-esteem. Explain how a transformed you will make her want to be a part of your life. Invest in your career or business. Set ambitious goals and dedicate yourself to achieving them. This will not only provide you with a sense of purpose and accomplishment, but also increase your financial stability and independence. When you are focused on your own self-improvement, you will feel like a new person and more capable of everything you want to do. Introduce heartbreak as fuel and a chance to turn it into a weapon. Learn new skills and expand your horizons. Take a class, read a book, attend a workshop, or travel to a new place. This will broaden your perspective, challenge your assumptions, and open you up to new opportunities and experiences. Emphasize that heartbreak can be the start of the strongest version of yourself. Surround yourself with supportive friends and family. Lean on them for emotional support and guidance. Sharing your feelings and experiences with others can help you process your emotions and gain a new perspective on your situation. Explain that the best revenge is becoming the man she regrets losing. The goal is to transform your pain into power, to emerge from the experience stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. When you focus on your own growth and well-being, you are less likely to be defined by your past relationships or experiences. You are also more likely to attract people who are genuinely interested in you for who you are, not for what you can provide them. Reinforce the idea that women always come back when they see you've leveled up. Remember that the best revenge is living a happy and fulfilling life. Show the world that you are capable of thriving, regardless of your past setbacks. This will not only inspire others, but also attract the right kind of people into your life. There is no need to get back at anyone, just focus on making yourself the best version of yourself. Part 7, Building Emotional Strength, Cultivating Inner Resilience and Self-Assurance. Emotional strength is the bedrock of a fulfilling life. It is the ability to navigate challenges, manage emotions, and maintain a sense of inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. Building emotional strength is not about suppressing your feelings or becoming invulnerable, it's about developing the capacity to cope with adversity, learn from your experiences, and emerge stronger on the other side. Draw parallels to athletes and business moguls who used pain as fuel. One of the most effective ways to build emotional strength is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness involves paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations in the present moment, without judgment. This can help you become more aware of your emotional patterns, identify triggers, and develop strategies for managing your reactions. Introduce the importance of building emotional strength and not letting anyone control you. Another key aspect of emotional strength is self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance, particularly when you are struggling. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and experiences setbacks. Avoid self-criticism and self-blame, and focus on learning from your experiences and moving forward. Explain that emotional strength leads to less reliance on external validation. Set healthy boundaries in your relationships. Clearly communicate your needs, limits, and expectations to others. Be assertive in defending your boundaries and refusing to tolerate disrespectful behavior. This will not only protect your emotional well-being, but also earn you the respect of others. Emphasize that emotional strength is the foundation of successful relationships. Practice gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the good things in your life, both big and small. This can help you shift your focus away from negative emotions and cultivate a sense of contentment and optimism. Explain how emotional strength helps you rise above tests and pullbacks. Engage in activities that promote your physical and mental well-being. Exercise regularly, eat a healthy diet, get enough sleep, and spend time in nature. These activities can help reduce stress, improve your mood, and boost your overall sense of well-being. Introduce practicing emotional detachment in every area of your life. Seek professional help if you are struggling to cope with difficult emotions or experiences. A therapist or counselor can provide you with support, guidance, and tools for building emotional strength and resilience. Explain how staying calm and focused on yourself controls her behavior. Building emotional strength is a lifelong journey. It requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to embrace challenges. However, the rewards are immeasurable. With emotional strength, you can navigate adversity with grace, maintain your inner peace, and live a life of authenticity and fulfillment. It will not only help you in relationships, but it will also help you in your career, your social life, and any endeavors you choose to engage in. Part 8, The Art of Absence, Making Her Miss You Through Strategic Withdrawal. In the dance of attraction, absence can be a potent force. When you are constantly present, readily available, and showering someone with attention, your value can diminish over time. However, when you strategically withdraw your presence, you create a void that can ignite feelings of longing, curiosity, and desire. Explain that emotional strength is your shield and no woman will have power over you. The art of absence is not about playing manipulative games or trying to trick someone into wanting you. It's about creating space for them to appreciate your presence and to recognize the value you bring to their life. It's about allowing them to experience what it's like to be without you, so they can truly understand what they might be missing. Introduce the secret to making her miss you: stop giving her attention. The key to making someone miss you is to stop being so readily available. Stop texting them constantly, stop liking their social media posts, and stop offering them unsolicited advice or assistance. Instead, focus on your own goals, interests, and personal growth. Invest your time and energy into activities that fulfill you and make you feel good about yourself. Explain how absence makes the heart grow fonder. When you are less available, you create a sense of mystery and intrigue. The other person may start to wonder what you are up to, who you are spending your time with, and why you are not as attentive as you used to be. This curiosity can lead to increased attraction and a desire to reconnect. Explain how women are surrounded by attention and your absence breaks through the noise. It's important to note that the art of absence is not a one-size-fits-all strategy. The appropriate level of withdrawal will depend on the specific relationship dynamic and the other person's personality and expectations. However, in general, it's best to err on the side of being less available than more. Compare being reactive to Instagram posts to just being another guy seeking attention. When you are less available, you also create an opportunity for the other person to invest more effort into the relationship. They may start to initiate contact more often, plan dates, or express their feelings more openly. This increased investment can lead to a stronger connection and a greater appreciation for your presence in their life. Explain how withholding attention makes it more valuable. The art of absence is not about being cold or indifferent. It's about creating space for both individuals to grow, appreciate each other, and invest in the relationship. It's about recognizing that absence can make the heart grow fonder, and that strategic withdrawal can be a powerful tool for fostering attraction and deepening connection. Imagine a scenario where you don't react to her social media posts. Be mindful of her social media behavior if you are to continue to follow her. It is important that she does not see you viewing her stories, because that is telling her that you are still thinking about her. When you go completely ghost and she doesn't see you anywhere, she will begin to wonder if you are with someone else, or have already forgotten about her. Emphasize the uncertainty and the power it holds. In addition to ignoring her social media behavior, it is also important to ignore any thirst traps she may post to get your attention. Stay composed and don't cave in to the pressure. If you do cave in, you are showing her that she is still on your mind, and it will give her the confidence she needs to not worry about losing you. By showing her that you are okay without her, she will in turn begin to miss you. Remind yourself to stay cool and let her feel that you are out of reach. Remember, it's all about flipping the script in a world where everyone is constantly connected. You stand out by being the one who isn't. When you stop showing up in her notifications, you're no longer part of the noise. Now you're the silence she can't ignore, and that silence, it's the most powerful tool in your arsenal to make her miss you. When you go silent, you break through the noise. Part 9, Navigating the Re-engagement, Responding when she reaches out. After implementing the no-contact rule and focusing on personal growth, the moment she reaches out can be both exciting and nerve-wracking. It's crucial to approach this situation with a clear strategy and a renewed sense of self-assurance. This is your time to control how things turn out. Explain that standing out can be achieved by being the one who isn't always connected. The first and most important rule is to avoid overreacting. Resist the urge to respond immediately with a long, emotional message. This will only signal that you have been eagerly awaiting her contact and that she still holds significant power over your emotions. You want to act like you are okay without her, because you are. Introduce the importance of staying calm and playing it cool. Instead, take your time to formulate a response that is calm, confident, and non-committal. Acknowledge her message, but avoid revealing too much about your feelings or activities. A simple, "Hey, good to hear from you. Been busy with," activity/project. "What's up?" can be an effective way to initiate a conversation without giving away too much. Emphasize that this is your moment to show her you've changed. The goal is to gauge her intentions and to determine whether she is genuinely interested in reconnecting or simply seeking validation. Her response to your initial message will provide valuable clues. If she is engaging and enthusiastic, it may be a sign that she is open to rebuilding the relationship. If she is evasive or dismissive, it may be best to maintain your distance. Explain how to keep it short and confident and let her work for your attention. Avoid falling back into old patterns of behavior. Don't start showering her with attention or making grand gestures. Instead, focus on maintaining your own boundaries and prioritizing your own goals and interests. Show her that you have grown and evolved during your time apart, and that you are no longer willing to settle for a relationship that doesn't meet your needs. Provide a practical example of how to respond to her initial message in a brief and indifferent manner. If she suggests meeting up, be open to the idea, but avoid being overly eager. Suggest a casual activity that aligns with your interests and values. This will demonstrate that you are not willing to rearrange your schedule or compromise your priorities just to see her. Something along the lines of, "I might be free next week. Let me check my schedule and get back to you," will give her the impression that you are busy and she is not the only thing on your mind. Explain how delaying your response signals that your life doesn't revolve around her. During the re-engagement process, it's crucial to maintain your emotional detachment. Avoid getting caught up in fantasies about the future or dwelling on past mistakes. Instead, focus on the present moment and assess whether the relationship is truly worth pursuing. Reinforce the idea that your response keeps her wondering if she still holds a place in your world. Be prepared to walk away if the relationship is not progressing in a healthy and positive direction. Don't be afraid to prioritize your own well-being and to seek out relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. Remember, the goal is not to win her back at any cost, but to create a fulfilling and meaningful life for yourself. Never put yourself in a position where you would be used again, because there are other good people out there to form meaningful relationships with. Explain the importance of not falling back into old habits and resetting the power dynamic. The art of navigating the re-engagement process lies in maintaining your self-assurance, prioritizing your own well-being, and being willing to walk away if the relationship is not serving your best interests. This is not about playing games or trying to manipulate the other person, it's about creating a healthy and balanced dynamic that is built on mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. Remember, she has to earn your respect and appreciation and not just get it simply because she exists. Part 10, Establishing Boundaries, Redefining the Relationship on Your Terms. Once she has re-entered your life, it's essential to establish clear boundaries and redefine the relationship on your terms. This is not about being controlling or domineering, but about creating a healthy and balanced dynamic that is built on mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. Provide practical examples of how to play it cool when she asks to meet up. One of the most important boundaries to establish is the expectation of reciprocity. Insist on a relationship where both individuals are actively contributing and investing their time, energy, and emotions. Avoid falling into the trap of being the sole provider of attention, affection, or support. A relationship is a give and take, and if you are giving all the time and she is taking all the time, the relationship will likely fail. Emphasize that you are showing her that she's no longer your top priority. Communicate your needs and expectations clearly and assertively. Don't be afraid to express your feelings or to ask for what you want. However, avoid being demanding or accusatory. Instead, focus on expressing your needs in a way that is respectful and considerate of the other person's feelings. If she can't meet the bare minimum, then she does not deserve to be with you. Explain that this makes her want you more because she has to earn your time and attention again. Be willing to say no. Don't feel obligated to agree to every request or suggestion that she makes. It's important to prioritize your own needs and to make decisions that are in your best interest. This is important for establishing respect between you and your partner. Demonstrate emotional strength and independence. Establish boundaries around your time and energy. Don't allow her to monopolize your schedule or to demand your constant attention. Set aside time for your own hobbies, interests, and social connections. By doing this, you are ensuring you are still improving yourself and she is not the only thing on your mind. Reinforce the importance of not letting her know how much you've missed her and staying on the path of self-improvement. Be consistent with your boundaries. Don't waver or make exceptions, even when she tries to guilt or manipulate you. Consistency is key to establishing trust and respect in the relationship. You have to be consistent to show her that you are serious. Introduce the idea of reinstating boundaries and power dynamics. Be prepared to walk away if your boundaries are not being respected. Don't be afraid to end the relationship if she is consistently violating your boundaries or treating you with disrespect. Your emotional well-being is paramount, and you should never settle for a relationship that is not serving your best interests. If she constantly crosses the line, that means you are not a priority in her life. Emphasize that she's coming back on your terms, not hers. Establishing boundaries is not about being rigid or inflexible. It's about creating a framework for a healthy and balanced relationship that is built on mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. When you establish clear boundaries, you are signaling that you value yourself and that you are not willing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. With boundaries in place, the relationship has a chance of succeeding. Explain that she needs to know you've changed and that you value yourself first and foremost. Conclusion: beyond attraction, embracing self-mastery and a life of abundance. The journey to reclaiming your power and attracting the right kind of relationship is ultimately a journey of self-discovery and self-mastery. It's about recognizing your own value, cultivating inner strength, and living a life of purpose and authenticity. She needs to earn her place in your life again. This is not just about attracting women, it's about attracting success, fulfillment, and abundance in all areas of your life. When you are confident, self-assured, and living in alignment with your values, you radiate an energy that is naturally magnetic and inspiring. It helps you in all areas of your life. It helps you in your career, your social life, and your overall personality. She's going to have to prove herself and respect your new boundaries. Remember that the goal is not to manipulate or control others, but to cultivate genuine connections that are built on mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. When you approach relationships from a place of strength and self-awareness, you are more likely to attract partners who are equally evolved and committed to building a healthy and fulfilling life together. Remind her that she cannot tolerate her past behavior. Don't be afraid to challenge societal norms or to reject outdated notions of masculinity. Embrace your emotions, express your vulnerability, and be open to learning and growing throughout your life. The most attractive quality a man can possess is authenticity. It is a difficult quality to master, but once you do, it can have many benefits. If she wants to be with you, she needs to rise to your level. The path to self-mastery is not always easy. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. However, with persistence, self-compassion, and an unwavering commitment to personal growth, you can create a life that is truly fulfilling and meaningful. It is a never-ending quest, and you have to be determined to continue to strive to be the best version of yourself. She crosses the line, you walk away without hesitation. Embrace the journey, celebrate your progress, and never stop striving to become the best version of yourself. The world needs confident, authentic, and emotionally intelligent men who are committed to creating a better future for themselves and for others. She needs to see that you've transformed into a high-value man who doesn't tolerate disrespect. This isn't about getting her back, it's about transforming yourself into the kind of man who doesn't need to chase. You are the prize, you are in control. This journey isn't just about fixing a broken relationship, it's about fixing yourself. Becoming the kind of man who's in control of his destiny. Time to act. This is a wake-up call. Become the high-value man you were always meant to be. Don't wait for change, create it. The first step to becoming the man who commands respect and attention starts here.